Well, you can see behind me, the sun is starting to come up here. This sort of very hot, muggy, humid phase of the storm has moved into the beach here in North Carolina, and people are making preparations. Evacuation goes into effect this morning here at 7 o'clock. Everybody told that they must leave. The concern, of course, with this storm is that it will be a Category 4 hurricane when it makes landfall, that the wind will be very strong. We're talking between 150 miles an hour, that there will be the potential for flooding and for storm surge, and that once the storm does make contact on land, that it will hover here, really adding to the pressure and adding a lot of rain. So right now, residents are preparing to leave. Some are planning to hunker down, stocking up on gas and supplies. But the president issuing a tweet this morning saying, "My people just informed me that this is one of the worst storms to hit the East Coast in many years, also looking like a direct hit on North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Please be prepared, be careful, and be safe." Of course, the president also authorizing Homeland Security and FEMA to aid these parts of the country, these states that are going to potentially be in trouble. North Carolina, the governor here saying this state is the bullseye of the storm. When we were out last night, we saw people cleaning off the shelves in the supermarket. There were no bottles of water to be had, that kind of thing. We've seen this in advance of storms, but this is pretty early preparation. And the hope, of course, is that folks will have learned from the experiences in Harvey and Irma last year as well. Now, North Carolina is no stranger to hard storms, but it hasn't seen one in a while. Some of the storms that you may recollect, Matthew, Floyd, Fran, and also Hurricane Hazel that hit here in 1954. The folks on the ground are concerned that this one will be that severe. And the general manager of the hotel telling us he's worried his lobby is going to be underwater. So a lot to think about in the next couple of days ahead as the state authorities and the locals are preparing for this storm. But the National Weather Service issuing a tweet saying there's always a calm before the storm. And you can really feel that on the ground here right now. But that doesn't mean that this isn't going to be extremely dangerous, guys.
Yeah, I remember Floyd. I was just thinking, because they're named serially like that, and this is the height of the season, I guess. This is peak, like this right through here, and that's, I guess, when Fs are named. And I actually just Googled to see, and they have ranked, storms in the past depending on what letter you start with, and F is a bad one. I guess that makes sense,
yeah.
Because it's right. And I remember Floyd. What was that about? That 13 or 14 years ago or so, Jackie, do you remember? Because I remember even New Jersey got hit really hard with Floyd. Not like
hard.
Not a direct hit, but a lot of rain, a lot of damage.
1999.
What was it, already 19
Absolutely.
Wow.
And, guys, the problem last year wasn't even necessarily the storm itself, but it was the damage and the havoc that was wreaked afterwards. Remember
Right.
the power outages, the flooding, a lot to deal with on the ground and a lot of cleanup effort. It really hit the residents quite hard. But you were right, Joe. We are at the peak of the hurricane season. It actually runs to the end of November. So even if this is a bad one, it doesn't necessarily mean that the worst is behind us just yet.